Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good, guys. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. How unexpected was the weather or your guys' play in it? How do you think you guys handled the weather conditions yesterday?
Well, I don't know that it was unexpected. I mean, we have these weather reports that we get, and they predicted rain or snow or wind really for a number of days leading up to the ball game. You never know until you get there. So it wasn't a surprise to us. And, it was just a challenging day for both sides. I mean, obviously the passing games weren't as crisp and as efficient as either team wanted them to be. It was hard to handle the ball. It was hard to throw the ball. It was hard to catch the ball. So obviously we would have wanted done better in that situation and be more efficient, particularly throwing and catching the football.
What was the outdoor practice schedule last week in preparation for it? How do you balance when to go inside, when to go outside, when you have a good feeling that weather's coming?
Yeah, we practiced outside on Wednesday and we practiced inside on Thursday and Friday, and you try your best to put your team in the best position to go play their best, and unfortunately, we're able to do that.
Do you think you would have been better prepared for yesterday if you practiced outside Thursday, Friday? How do you think that benefited you guys in the prep?
We chose to do what we did for lots of different reasons, and that's what we did. You certainly could have gone outside as well.
Coach, Dak made an equipment change early on, put a glove on. What's the preparation and the decision-making like before the game, him outside, testing it out in the pregame warm-ups, not wearing a glove, and then having to go to the glove?
I don't know the specifics of that yesterday. I know Dak has worn gloves in practice in the past and has had, different feelings about it. Sometimes he's throwing the ball really well. Other times I don't think he's had a great feel for the ball coming out of his hand. I think you have to ask him specifically on that. I do know that he was having a hard time with the wet ball early in the game, just like everybody was. I mean, it was hard to handle the football on both sides, and he went to the glove, and I think he felt better about it as the game wore on.
Coach, everyone talks about Belichick taking something away. How was he going to defend Amari? Well, what did you notice them taking away with more focus on Dak or Zeke yesterday? What did it seem like their number one emphasis was on defense?
Oh, I think they just played their defense, to be honest with you. I'm sure there were some different things they were trying to do at different times throughout the game. Gilmore went with Amari for a lot of the game. They played the different fronts that they play. They used the different pressures they play, and they played some different coverages. I don't think there was anything that was really dramatic in saying we have to take this person away. I mean, I think they had different strategies for different things at different times.
Jason Garrett right here on The Fan. Coach, we're not used to seeing Amari with that lack of production. 0 catches on 2 targets. Was that all Gilmore, weather, or Amari still a little bit banged up with the toughness he's been showing this year?
Oh, probably a combination of things. Again, it was challenging to be efficient in the passing game. I thought at different times we were able to throw and catch the ball, but for the most part, we weren't able to do that as well as we would have liked. Give the Patriots credit. They have a good defense. They have a good front. They have good linebackers and good cover guys. Gilmore's a good cover guy. No question about that. The circumstances and the conditions were challenging as well.
Jason Garrett joined us here at 105 through The Fan. We've talked a lot this morning about the 4th and 7 decision to kick the field goal, make it 13-9 instead of go for it there. What was the decision-making process to kick the field goal as opposed to take the chance at going for it and giving the Patriots a 90-yard field into the wind?
Yeah, just it was just over 6 minutes to go in the ball game, and we obviously hadn't done real well on third downs throughout the game, so 4th and 7 was going to be a challenging situation, particularly down there when you don't have as much space. So we just felt like in that situation with that much time left in the ball game, let's go ahead and make it a 4-point game. Let's see if we can play defense and give our offense an opportunity to come back and now win it. The other factor in situations like that is if they do move the ball and kick a field goal and you've gone for the touchdown and you haven't made it, now it's a 10-point game and a 2-score game. So, this keeps you in a more manageable manageable situation. If they do kick a field goal, it still would only be a 7-point game. Biggest thing you're trying to do there is make sure you give yourself an opportunity to come back the other way. And just under 3 minutes to go with 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning, we felt like that gave us a pretty decent chance coming back to win the ball game.
Was there a down and distance where you would have gone for it?
I think it was more manageable, yeah. 1, 2, even 3 in that situation. That's what's going through your mind. 4th and 7 is a little bit more challenging, particularly down in there tight.
Coach, do you go into 3rd down with instructions to Kellen or Dak of, hey, let's have a 2-down mentality here? We agree with you. 4th and 7 is tough, and then analytics show it didn't really cost you guys going for the field goal. But on 3rd down, do you say, hey, let's try to make this 3rd and short, or were you more focused on trying to pick up the 1st down there or score?
Yeah, you're trying to execute the play, and you have different options at different levels of the defense, and you try to work your way through it. And if you have a chance to, make the 1st down, you do that. If you have a chance to check it down, you do that. In that particular case, Dak got pushed to the left, and gave Jarwin a shot in the back of the end zone. Unfortunately, he came down out of bounds.
Did you look back and see that Dak may have had an opportunity out there in the flat to run to pick up the 1st or more yards to make it a 4th and more manageable?
Yeah, that's always an option, but Dak's a really good decision maker, and unfortunately that play didn't work out for us.
Coach, there's a stat called win probability. It basically tells you before each play your chances of winning the game, whether they increase or decrease based on the play you're going to run. Do you have that information available to you, during the game based on each play? Like, hey, if we kick the field goal here, our chance of winning the game goes up or down?
Yeah, we don't use those stats within the game.
Coach, special teams was an issue, obviously. Let's start with, the punt return was the punt block was an obvious one. What about the Tony Pollard returns? Was there a lack of communication with telling Tony, hey, let's adjust here, let's move up with the balls that kept coming up short on him? What happened with the kickoff returns, in your opinion?
Yeah, obviously a couple of them. I think there was one touchback, and then the next one we got out to the 30, and then there was one that was a challenging one to handle, and I think he got out to the 18-yard line after a muff, and then the one late, he should have been closer, kicking in that direction. We put Jameis Alawalo out there in the situation, thinking they might kick right there, and the ball kind of moved back to the middle, but Tony should have been closer there to be more ready to handle a shorter kick.
What happened with the punt sequence at the end of the 3rd quarter? I still don't understand it with the delay of game and then the illegal motion. It looked like New England didn't put a returner back there, or either way, it looked like it cost you guys a little bit of field position. What happened with that punt sequence?
Yeah, they didn't put a returner back there initially, so they had 11 guys essentially as potential rushers. So we wanted to make sure we were clean there with the guys we had blocking and protecting for that particular punt. So, rather than taking the timeout in that situation, because you're going to need it later in the game, we just took the delay. And then the next one, I believe they had a guy back, but the issue was our outside flyer came in to protect, and we quick snapped the thing again to handle their rush, and so we had an illegal motion. So we lost the 10 yards there prior to the snap.
Jason Garrett right here with Sean and RJ on 105.3 The Fan. Can you remember Witten having a game like that? It looked like there were 2 catchable balls, and then we didn't really notice him a ton with Jarwin getting some more action. What was going on with Witten? Can you remember him having a game where he struggled like that or wasn't that productive?
Yeah, just the 2 balls that he had that went off his hands, and again, challenging weather conditions. The ball was a little slick, and at times we didn't handle as well as we could have. So I just think it was about that. We wanted to play Witt a lot. We wanted to play Jarwin a lot. Both those guys had a lot of snaps in the game.
Coach, after the game, and he'll join us tomorrow at 8:30. Jerry was extremely frustrated. Said to me, special teams is 100%. Coaching with the makeup of this team. I shouldn't be this frustrated. It's very frustrating. Your response to that, or does Jerry seem a little bit more frustrated after a game yesterday than he usually is?
I don't know. I can't answer for him. All I can say is we obviously all want to win, and we worked hard to have our best performance. Unfortunately, we didn't get the job done yesterday, and we'll learn from the experiences. And the best thing we have to do is get our eyes forward and get ready for this game on Thursday against Buffalo.
What surprised you the most about yesterday's game?
Nothing really surprised me. We knew it was going to be a tough game. The conditions were challenging. We had to battle, scratch, claw, and fight. Unfortunately, we had a couple of miscues early on in the ball game that hurt us, that gave them some point opportunities. But I thought our guys did a really good job responding. After that, defense played very well, holding them to essentially a field goal after that. And I thought at different times we moved the ball well offensively. Weren't able to cash it in the red zone a couple of times, but we knew it was going to be a game like that. And, we got the ball back with just under 3 minutes to go and 3 timeouts and a chance to go down there and score. And unfortunately, we converted a third down, and we had a penalty that knocked us back and prevented us from converting a longer third down and a fourth down situation. So, they're a good football team. They're well coached. They got a lot of good players. They've won a lot of games up there, and unfortunately, we didn't get the job done.
Is this a game where you feel especially disappointed because you may feel like you let one get away?
I think anytime you don't win a ball game in the NFL, you look to things that you could have done better. And, again, we have great respect for their team and what they've accomplished. And, we'll learn from this experience and move on.
Last thing, Coach, with Jerry's comments afterwards, do you feel like coaching wasn't up to par with the standards you guys usually have, that it was a bigger letdown yesterday than normal?
We always can coach better. We always can play better, and that's the way we look at it. We can always learn from our experiences. Certainly there's some good things in the game that we can build on, and there's plenty of stuff that we need to correct as we go forward. We have to get our eyes forward for this game on Thursday against Buffalo.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it as always. Have a good day and a good week.
Okay, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Back at you, Coach. Jason Garrett.